Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 17, which is entitled as Shraddha-traya Vibhava Yoga, the three types of faith. Sloka 10, Part 8. Yāta-yāmaṁ gata-rasaṁ pūti paryuṣitaṁ ca yat ucchiṣṭam api cāmedhyaṁ bhojanaṁ tāmasa-priyam. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. We learned so far that food which are in mode of rajoguna and tamoguna should be completely avoided, and one should always consume food in mode of goodness. Even if it is in mode of goodness, that should be first offered to Krishna. It is actually Krishna who is digesting everything that we consume. This is also confirmed by Krishna himself in the 15th chapter, 14th sloka. Aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam dehamashritaha pranapana samayuktaha pachamyannam chaturvidham. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the 4 kinds of foodstuff. One may ask a silly question. So, if the food is sattvic, then the Lord who is within our body as the fire will digest. That means if the food is not sattvic, then he will not digest. The Lord can do anything and everything. During the Mahapralaya, he takes everything into his mouth. What to speak of small things? So the point is, irrespective of whatever it is because of his presence that we are able to digest anything. Because of him, we are able to do anything. Even lifting our hand to put the morsel of food into our mouth, we need his mercy. Whether what we are eating is sattvic or not. But he is not affected. It is one who is making the decision to eat certain things get impacted. A follow-up question may be, how is that possible? If he is also within us, whatever I am doing, he will also get impacted. Answer is not necessary. Example is, we take oil and we apply the oil in our hand, it becomes sticky. You got to put a soap water to clear the stickiness. But if you consume the oil through mouth, the same oil doesn't stick to the tongue, which is something to be noted. It's same part of our body, another organ. Other organs get affected, whereas certain organs does not get affected. When this is possible to the material body, the Lord is spiritual. Therefore, he is not affected by any of these things. It only affects us who makes the decision. There are a couple of questions that we need to see before we can move on to the glories of prasadam. One is, we see that in certain temple, they have a practice of offering whatever has been cooked to the deities. Whereas in some places, they take a portion of it and then offer it to the Lord. Which one is the right practice? Both has its value. Let's understand that. Say a lover says to his loved one that I need the same betel leaves that you are eating, not the one that's been lying separately, which is untouched. That shows the lover's deep love for his loved one. Therefore, some say there's nothing need to be kept separately out. Everything what's been cooked should be directly offered to the Lord, so we can have what has been relished and tasted by him, which has the Lord's transcendental saliva. By the way, the example is given in the Pancharatra Samhita. The scripture gives such an example which we may think, what type of example is this? But unless we hear such an example, we will not understand the importance of the remnants or the food that is tasted by Krishna, because we are in that material plane. There is another thought where whatever has been cooked, you take a portion of it, arrange it really nicely on a clean, nice plate and offer it to the Lord. The Lord being supreme, one treat him as one treats a great personality being treated. Once that becomes prasad, which is tasted by the Lord, that get mixed with the other which has not been taken inside the altar. This gives more service opportunity because you got to make the plates ready. You have to fill those cups and plates and water glasses. We offer it and then we bring back and mix it with the remaining ones and wash it, dry it and keep it. And you got to polish these plates on a regular basis. This has quite involvement, whereas the other one has its own valid reason. But one should not take advantage of the other method because of the laziness of having to arrange the prasadam plate and to maintain the articles. Each preparation that is being offered to the Lord must contain tulasi leaves. The Lord accepts that which is offered with tulasi. Regarding tulasi, we got to collect tulasi only on certain days and time. We just simply cannot go and pluck the leaves whenever we want, because that becomes offensive. One should not collect tulasi during afternoon, any days. One should not collect tulasi on Sundays, Tuesdays and Fridays. One should not collect tulasi on Dwadeshi, Amavasya, Paurnami, first day of either lunar or solar calendar, Shashti. One should be careful not to pluck tulasis on these conditions. And also the scripture says men allowed to pluck the tulasis, and there are mantras which need to be chanted taking permission from Tulasi Devi before plucking the tulasi. And adding ghee, pure ghee, to the preparation is important as well, just few drops at least, so it purifies the preparation. Ghee plays a very important role in Sanatana Dharma. Yaga-yajna, which is done with ghee, has a special value. There's a small story that the scripture says to show the importance of ghee. One time the Lord was dividing and giving many articles to the devatas for their yajnas and pujas. But then the Lord did not give out ghee. He held it back because it is very special. But the devatas begged and requested the Lord to allot some ghee for their worship as well. And the compassionate Lord gave little to them. The sages, hearing this, wanted to find out, investigate why the devatas asked for ghee. What is so special about it? And it was found that ghee is a substance which stays longer, never gets spoiled, whereas any other items that goes into the yajna get spoiled very soon. Then the next question they investigated is, how is that it doesn't get spoiled? The answer that they found is, ghee belongs to the Lord himself. The Lord doesn't get spoiled, therefore his ghee doesn't get spoiled. Whereas all the devatas will perish one day, likewise those ingredients that are used for them will also perish. So when one offers ghee or when one consumes ghee, one can remember the Lord, remembering the qualities of the ghee. In our previous session, we had mentioned a prayer which is composed by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but we failed to mention who Bhaktivinoda Thakur is. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is father of Bhakti Siddhanta, and Bhakti Siddhanta is a spiritual master of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. There are a lot of things that can be spoken about Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a well-reputed personality. He was a magistrate. He wrote many Vaishnava literatures, many songs. He is an ideal example of how a family man should be. We thought it is important to mention his name. Here is another practical question during offering. If we have a bag of apple, if I offer one apple, can I consider the rest of the apple to be offered? Answer is no. Regarding fruits, individual fruits has to be offered. Say if we want to offer a cantaloupe, a portion of cantaloupe can be offered and the rest can be considered offered as well. But when it comes to grapes, apple, banana, mangoes, then the entire thing has to be offered. So there could be a lot more questions than what we covered in these two sessions. Also, one may be interested in knowing how to do offering, etc. Kindly reach out to someone who's experienced in practicing these things to know more about it, because there are many practical questions that may arise. We may not be able to cover everything over here. One may ask, why should I go through all this difficult task? Why can't I simply mentally offer to the Lord and have it as prasadam? We take tough tasks, challenges in our life in many other things, but when it comes to Krishna, we are reluctant. We try to find various loopholes. So we have to do our best to follow what's been given in the scripture, what has been practiced by the seniors. Offering mentally should be the last option if we are in a helpless situation where our hands and legs are not functioning properly, our tongue is not able to chant any name, our vision are faded, where we can't hear properly. With all these conditions, yes, we can mentally offer. Or if we are great devotee, great jnanis, then we can even build temple in our heart and make offerings. There is a story where a great devotee was making his preparation to the Lord mentally in his heart. While he was trying to check the temperature of the preparation, his finger got burnt. When he came to the external consciousness, he could see his finger was really burnt. So that's a level of dhyana one needs to have to do offering mentally. Most of us are not on that level. Therefore, we engage our hands, legs, eyes, ears, mouth, our wealth, our time, our energy in the service of the Lord. In our next session, we'll learn the glories of Krishna Prasadam. Namaste. Hare Krishna.